Picking right up where we left off last video, I got the rest of the interior in here torn out. Everything is vacuumed and cleaned up. I got every little clip, little piece I could think of. I'm gonna do the dash, kick panels and those pieces at a later date because I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave the dash in, how much of the wiring I'm gonna leave. It'll all come out eventually, but I'm not sure exactly what the plan is right now. Inside here, pretty much looks the same. Found some more little other rust holes. The top side of the rockers here are pretty nice actually, which is good. Doors here are nice. I got that window to roll down. So my plan right now is to go ahead and I guess just start cleaning this up, maybe pull the radiator, some of the other loose stuff that's sitting in there, and then I'm not gonna try a whole lot here, but if I can get the engine to turn over, maybe we'll mess with it. But if I can't get to turn over, I think I'm just gonna start getting it ready to pull out and then start taking some of the front sheet metal off here. Well, this may have slightly got out of hand. And I'm absolutely disgusting from just doing this. Well, bam. Voila. We have front end off. And that was not without struggle. As you can see, I get the cutoff out here to cut this bolt out because the head was completely rounded out, so I couldn't even get a 12-point or 6-point. And then I tried to wedge a metric socket on there, and that just rounded out the head even more. So yeah, I had to cut that one off, and then pretty much everything else. I still got to get the front valance piece here unbolted from the fender, but I don't know how the heck you're supposed to do it because they're on the underside here and they're not standard. So I don't know, or maybe they're just so rounded out from someone messing with them previously. I don't really know, and I can't get vice grips in there, but I'll figure that out, not a problem. Now time to clean up this mess before the rainstorm comes through because yeah, it rained a little bit, but it's supposed to start raining quite a bit here and it's already like 11:30, so I should probably call it, but whoa, this is weird. I never had the fenders off the duster. Of all the things we've done to that car, for some reason I never had the fenders off. So, whoa, here we go. New adventures. And that is how you remove the gas tank in your 1970 Dodge Charger. Looks mint. Continuing on with the tear down here, got the gas tank out, which I thought was good in like a couple videos ago. I don't remember, but as you can see, she's a little shot. There's my, I think passenger, no, side trunk extension. Bumper is actually really nice, which is sweet. It's not dented. I mean, there's a couple things like rust, but that is pretty solid. I'm happy with that. And then we get into here, as you probably saw in the last clip. That gas tank was the trunk floor. Check this out. Yeah, it needs pretty much everything back here, but hey, half the car ended up on the ground too, so that's always a good sign. Tail panel is pretty decent. I noticed quite a bit of Bondo in here already picked out. Surprise, surprise, this was a corner that was hit, and I'm pretty sure that tail panel is still hit, and they just packed that full of Bondo. So fun stuff. Continuing on with the teardown and stripping this car. Step one of replacing the floor is cutting out the floor, right? Yeah. Got the passenger side half here cut out and got all the spot welds pretty much along the rocker there off, along the seat braces there, and then along the cross member there. Not that that matters because that's getting cut out anyway, but for those who don't know or are just curious about this process here, it's not just as simple as just hacking things out. At least in this case here, obviously if you're putting on a chassis, you can cut out whatever, but it's not putting a factory style floor back in it. I'm trying to keep as everything, I guess, safe and as good as I can, i.e. the rocker right here. Now this seat brace is solid, this one is shot, but if I'm going to go ahead and replace that one, I might as well just replace both. So I think I'm going to end up replacing both of those. Like I said, it's going to need new torsion bar cross member, so I'm not sure exactly how much I want to cut out right now, just until I come up with a plan for how I'm going to put this thing on casters, because I don't want it to fold in half. I would feel fine with cutting the entire floor out, just kind of how it is right now. That's what we did for the duster. But the rockers on the duster were solid, whereas these are, well, they don't really exist, at least the outer rockers. So I'm just kind of worried about being too flexy or too flexible right now with no metal. So just kind of pick away at it as I can. And yeah, just it's gonna be a lot of cutting, a lot of grinding, and just taking my time doing this. Last night I got this side all cut out and pretty much kind of, I guess, I don't know, ground down, and like all the little pieces and spot welds taken off. Today I did this side, as you can see, it's all right there. And I figured to go ahead and show kind of how my process is for taking out the spot weld. So obviously cut the big section out, and then you're left with this lip against the rocker here, and you got all the spot welds on the top. Then I would go through and trim this, and then you just got this little lip up top, and it kind of looks something like this. Now here you can see the two spot welds right there. So what I do is just take the cut off here, kind of go in on an angle like this above the spot welds, wiggle it back and forth. That gets you to this stage, and then once you're at this stage, take a screwdriver underneath, you can pop it off, and then it'll leave kind of like the little circle on the top of the spot weld still to the rocker. Go through, grind it down, and then it'll look something like this. This one's not totally done, as you can still see the circle around it, but that's what it'll look like. Then I go through and just kind of take a what's the word I'm looking for? Not a cutoff, but a I can't think of the word. Grinding disc. There we go. And grind that all smooth. So it takes a lot of time. Obviously this rocker isn't in the best of shape, so if I nick it once or twice, like you can see I did right there, like that cut right there, not a big deal, could just weld that up. I'm saving these seat brackets in here right now just so I know where to put the new ones. And I'm gonna, like, the back ones are still good, but the front ones are obviously shot, so I think I'm just gonna replace all of them at this point, but I'm leaving them in there just so I have a template at least right now, and then maybe I'll mock up the new floor with them in there, just kind of get everything situated. We'll see, but yeah, got another couple hours to get this stuff off, and then the front stuff off here as well. I'm slightly impressed with myself right now. I don't know how many floors or pieces of metal I guess I've taken apart now between doing all the stuff on the duster and then the shop I used to work at. I tore floors and pans and cars quite a bit and taking out spot welds and everything, so I've gotten pretty used to it, and I guess pretty decent at it, because just in a matter of a few short hours here I got the entire floor pan out of the charger. Every single spot weld is out, every single seam and pinch weld is all gone. The last thing I just have to do is the seam along the bottom side of the firewall here, but I will do that once the engine and trans is out. That'll be easiest to do then. But yeah, you can see everything along the inner rocker here is all out. You can see some of the spot welds and everything, so not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. This floor is a little interesting. It's a 3-piece floor, whereas the duster here, this is like a 1-piece that just sits in here. This is the same style, it just kind of sits on top of the rockers and all the braces. But you got these 2 back pieces here, and it's weird how it's layered. So from what I can tell is this piece is on top first, then this is underneath it, and the main floor is underneath that. So my next plan before I cut any of this out is to go ahead and brace up the back here, because there isn't much structure left now. Obviously the torsion bar cross member is pretty shot kind of all the way around. The good news is though, the front frame rails are solid. There's a little bit of rust up front, but like in terms of this section here, that is solid. So yeah, that was a lot of work. I got quite a mess to clean up here, but I don't even know. I just feel good about that. That was pretty sweet. So like I said, next thing I'm gonna do is brace it up and go from there. Just keep on cutting. If there's one thing I've learned from the duster, it's to save everything you possibly can. So I just went through, cut up the rest of the big floor pieces here, and took off the seatbelt mounting, whole bracket thingies. We got a console bracket. I'm not putting a console back in this car because I want to put a stick in it. Actually, I may end up using this factory style console. I doubt it, but hey, maybe I can sell this or someone else is looking for it. And then this bracket, which I'm pretty sure was for the e-brake, or maybe it was the brake line. I don't know. It was in that area of the car. Could be mistaken though. So yeah, may end up not using them, may end up using them, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So finishing up the weekend here, I got a couple things I want to go through and talk about and discuss. First things being first, I got the entire inside of the car braced up today, so that's a pretty big step. It means I can go on and cut out this section here, so it's pretty simple brace. I mean, just inner quarter to inner quarter, and then we got inner rocker there going all the way up to the top of the roof, and then same thing on this side. So yeah, nothing too crazy. Definitely gonna add some structure here, so now that is all in place, I can go through and cut this back section out and whatnot. When I go to replace this torsion bar cross member as well, I'm gonna brace these frame rails from here to probably the inner rocker, and then I'll go ahead and do this. So that's kind of my plan as for that. But brings me into the next subject here, which I think is pretty sweet. It's a little messy right now, but got a welder, so that's pretty exciting. Got a tank today, got a cart. I bought this welder the other week for a pretty sweet deal on Marketplace. Had to drive a little far to get it, but it was worth it to me. It was all brand new in the box. I mean, you can see the box straight up there. Everything was in the plastic wrap. I mean, I think, yeah, see, the regulator still even got the little plastic thingy on it. Like, it was brand spanking new. So that was pretty cool. Picked up a tank, yeah, and a cart, so can finally start doing some more fab stuff, which is good. It feels good to be back doing this stuff. This is what I love. This is my favorite stuff. This is what I want to do, the fab side of things. So yeah, starting to feel like normal stuff again, which is pretty sweet. But this welder right here and everything is pretty much thanks to you guys who have either watched, subscribed, liked, commented, whether it's a good one or a bad one. I don't care. It's interaction. It boosts up the numbers and stuff. So yeah, obviously the Charger videos have been doing pretty well, and then the Power Tour videos, which I did before that, bumped up some of the I guess specs and requirements. So channel's been monetized for a while now, which is pretty awesome to say. And you obviously don't make a lot doing this sort of stuff unless you're really big. And this is kind of just for fun for me to show, I guess, what I'm doing and, you know, meet people and stuff when we go to events and everything. But even with a little money that has been produced through this stuff, it's going right back into it, which you can see right there. That is all 100% paid for, either through the YouTube stuff here or from Instagram. So that is pretty cool to say and cool to be able to do, because obviously, well, I've always had this thought in my head of the freaking ultimate goal is to make money off building your own cars and then put that money back into your own cars. Just that cycle. I don't know, just that thought I've always had in my head for the past couple of years, and it's kind of been stuck there. So small start, I guess, but nonetheless, it's pretty cool to say. So yeah, I know there hasn't been a video out for a while. That's because I've been messing with this junk here for a while, and I'm still struggling on that. We're getting very close, but I'm still struggling, and I have a bunch of footage showing the entire process of the engine so far, and hopefully that'll be fired up here soon. But the last 2 days I just need to take a break from it because it was kicking my butt. So I just decided to start on that stuff because yeah, that's pretty much everything this car, I mean, this car needs everything, but obviously the sheet metal is a big piece of it. So hopefully next video, fingers crossed, this will actually be up and running. I got like 95% of the footage. I just needed to actually fire. That's kind of the whole point of the video. But other than that, that's gonna end it off for this video here. Thanks for watching.